just to talk about heavy, about the first single. I mean, I just wrote down, like, I don't like my mind right now, staking up problems that are so unnecessary. Like, this is like one example. It's really personal. So I was just wondering, like, it seems like that you've been through a number of issues over the last couple of years and just working on that album. Can you just give us a clue what actually was inside you as you wrote it down? Are there any special?
Well, you know, I mean, being in Lincoln Park, it has a lot of perks, and it's really a fun life, and it's a blessed life. You know, I get to do what I love to do with really talented and exceptionally decent people. You know what I mean? Like, everyone in the band they're all really good guys, but at the same time, like, none of us are immune from, you know, just shit happening to you, you know, and or not to you, but just kind of making poor choices, or, you know, being human. Like, there's always that element. And for me, like, I think I kind of reached a place in 2015 when I broke my leg. I was in Lincoln Park. I was in Stone Temple Pilots. I was a dad. I was like trying to manage all this stuff. I had just gotten done. Like, I feel like I've literally been in like rehabbing injuries since I was 30. Ever since I tore my disc in my back, like, I've just been like constantly rehabbing a surgery, an injury, a surgery, you know, like, it just kind of, I got to a point where I was like, you know, medicating, kind of having issues with that, kind of like, you know, falling back into old habits, into old, you know, behaviors. And I really got to a point, and I got, you know, lost some really close people to me quickly, and was having trouble with all of my relationships, not just like at home, but like with my friends, with just myself, everything. And life got really weird and really hard all at one time. And, you know, I'm like this person who, like, you know, thinks I can do like, I just want to do anything I want to do, like, when I want to do it, and I feel like I can figure it out. And that works sometimes, but I found, like, when I broke my leg, and it was so bad, like, it wasn't just like, oh, I broke my leg, like, I can kind of heal in 8 weeks, I'll be back on, like, it was like, I broke the crap out of it, and I needed, like, reconstructive surgery, and, like, plates and screws and more surgery, and like, it was like, whoa, you know, it was nasty. And that kind of took me into like a depression that really was hard to get out of. And then you know, I realized at that point, like, I can't do all this stuff if everything isn't perfect and running exactly the way it's supposed to. One thing falls off the cart and, like, the whole thing gets ruined. It's like pulling an apple, like, you see a nice stack of apples at the grocery store, and it's beautiful and, like, it's really nice, and then you grab the bottom one and the whole thing goes down, and next thing you know, it takes like all these people to clean up the mess. Right? Everything's ruined, right?
Like, that's my life.
We were talking about it in the studio, and like Mike had made a list of all the things that not only, like, some of the stuff that he knew I was going through, and then some of the stuff he was going through, and some of the stuff he knew, like, our friends and, like, other guys in the band were going through. It was like a list of like 50 things. And it was like, each one of them was on its own really, really hard to go through.
It was like each one was a Netflix.
It was like
Netflix series.
It was like one of our friends died of cancer. My stepdad died of cancer. I broke my leg, and I had to rehab that for a year. I quit Stone Temple Pilots because it was just too much. It was too much. I felt bad about that. You know,
that times like,
and then
10 times.
And then I was like, depressed, and I was like, you know, drinking again, and then I was like doing all this stuff, and I was just like, dude, like, this is crazy. And you know, all my relationships were struggling, like, everything was struggling, and it was just really tough. And so there was like just enough things to kind of keep me wanting to go. But yeah, I mean, like you were saying earlier, I don't think it was burnt out from just like, man, like, I just need a break. I was burnt out because I was just like, fuck the world. Like, not like I need a break, like, honestly, like, fuck all of you. Like everybody and everything. And I don't like doing anything anymore. Like nothing makes me happy. I don't like anyone. I even told one of my therapists at one point, I said, I just don't want to feel anything. I kind of envy sociopaths because they don't have to worry about ever feeling shit. I kind of want that. And she's like, you mean you don't want to be a human being? I was like, yep, that's what I want.
There's one funny thing that he touched on that like people don't know about. I mean, you can kind of guess about Chester. Like when he's you know, broken his arm on stage years ago, and he broke it, and we were like, okay, do we need to? It was like the beginning of the show. Like, do we need to stop the show? And he's like, well, it's gonna be as broken in an hour as it is right now. And we were like, what? And he's like, yeah, let's just play. It's like, it fucking hurts, but let's just play. Like, he's the kind of guy that's gonna just like power through anything, right? And it's like something's going on, like, oh, it's gonna take you, you know, 8 months to rehab your injury. Chester's gonna be like, I'm gonna get it done in 6. I'm gonna be running a marathon in 6.